before going to develop the AI system. Yes, means we should know sociology, mathematics, psychology, philosophy, then biology, etc., etc. So these are the things we should learn about it, and then we can proceed further to make the machine intelligent. Then we have seen various applications in various sectors. We have seen in detail all these sectors where the AI is applicable or AI's applications are running over there. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Then we have seen a brief history of AI. Yes. So when the AI was evaluated, first AI machine
1950 during
in 1950.
yes,
Yes, Turing test machine was evaluated uh, in 1950. Okay, but the birth of AI comes from this, that is in 1943. Artificial neurons were created to test the knowledge. Okay, so and latest evolution of AI is Alexa, that is a Amazon Echo. Yes,
yes, ma'am.
so we have seen it in detail. Then we are here. Advantages of artificial intelligence. We have already discussed the advantages. Yes, high accuracy with less errors. It means that if the machines are working over our problems, then machines absolutely goes to correct answer because they are running by our um, programs or by our way. That's why it doesn't or it cannot make the mistakes. That's why high accuracy is possible with the machines. Yes, then high speed as compared to human, machine needs a machine always gives us a high speed with any operation. Then high reliability. Reliability means we can trust over that machine. Okay, so high reliability is another advantage of artificial intelligence. Then it is useful for risky areas where human cannot go. Then we can place that machines there for research purpose or for exploring the things over there. Okay, then a digital assistant. This can be the virtual assistant, which can be useful for recommendation or useful to give us guidance on any website. Then it is useful as a public utility. पब्लिक यूटिलिटी का एग्जांपल बताया था मैंने, क्या था? इट इज़ अ सेल्फ ड्राइविंग कार. यस, सेल्फ ड्राइविंग कार भी आई है मार्केट में, that runs over the road through AI system. Okay, then NLP is there. With the help of NLP, it can be communicate with human in human language. Yes. So these are the advantages of artificial intelligence. Now we will see the disadvantages of artificial intelligence. कैसे हो सकते हैं? It can be a high cost. Why? Because it requires many sensors, many actuators, many devices, which is not affordable to anyone. Yes, that's why it requires a high cost. It can be the disadvantage of AI. Then it cannot think out of the box. Why? It is said here, if we are making robots, robots क्यों make करते हैं, robots क्यों बनाते हैं?
For so for specific task.
फॉर स्पेसिफिक टास्क. ओके, अगर अभी तक जो भी हमने रोबोट्स देखे होंगे तो वो रोबोट स्पेसिफिक टास्क परफॉर्म करते हैं. जो भी टास्क हमने प्रोग्राम्ड किया होता है वो ही टास्क परफॉर्म करते हैं. यस, अदर देन दैट ये वो कुछ परफॉर्म करते हैं क्या? वो कुछ कमांड एक्सेप्ट करते हैं क्या? नहीं. दैट्स व्हाई it can be the disadvantage that it cannot think out of the box just like a human. Yes, then there is no feelings and no emotions to AI machines. If we are giving आपने रोबोट पिक्चर देखा है ना?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, of course सबने देखा है. रोबोट में आपने देखा होगा that machine doesn't have feeling and emotions, है ना? जितने भी उसने कमांड्स दिए थे उतने ही कमांड्स वो रन करता है. It cannot think out of the box, so it can be the disadvantage of AI. Okay, so these are the disadvantages. Now coming to the next disadvantage, that is increased dependency on machines. अभी ये क्या हो सकता है लॉजिकली?
Machines work, machine complete the task in very high speed. So uh, त्यामुळे त्यांच्यावर डिपेंडन्सी वाढली की त्याचं प्रोडक्टची जी काही डेव्हलपमेंट असेल ती जास्त फास्ट होते.
Yes, you can see, if I want to design or I want to develop a AI system, then I require IoT devices, then I require various machines or supercomputers to run that particular system. So it can be the dependent machine, which will be depend on various aspects of a computer science. Yes, so it increases day by day. It is increasing the dependency on machines. Okay, we will see the types of AI. Then you can see there is lot of improvement or lot of processing is done. Then no original creativity is there. ओरिजिनल क्रिएटिविटी नहीं होती वहाँ पे. क्यों? आज ह्यूमंस आर सो क्रिएटिव बट रोबोट्स कैन नॉट. यस, because robots are work on only for only given specific task. Yes, humans can imagine some new ideas, but still AI machines cannot beat this power of human. And it that's why it cannot create any new system or any new creativity or imaginability. Okay, so these are the disadvantages. Then the next one is a similar part of advantage and disadvantage, that is the risk and benefits of AI. But risks are different, and benefits can be the applications also. We will see. This can be the benefits of AI. It increases the work efficiency. Why? Because all the work which is done by the human earlier, that can be done by the machines. That's why it increase in terms of time, in terms of accuracy. So it increase the work efficiency of a particular work. Yes. Then second one is a work with high accuracy. ये हमने already advantage में भी देखा. Why it gives a high accuracy? Because it is machine. As we all know that calculator can perform better equations than us, solve better equations than us. Yes, why? Because we trust over calculator. Why? Because this is machine and we know that it doesn't give us a wrong answer. Yes. So in similar way in AI we use the machines to perform a specific task. That's why we 100% we trust over that, and it will 100% provide us the accuracy. Then it reduces the cost of training and operations. अभी इसमें क्या आएगा? Cost of training and operations means suppose कुछ काम करने के लिए ह्यूमन है वहाँ पे, तो हम क्या करते हैं? अभी हम एजुकेशन सेक्टर का एग्जांपल ले सकते हैं. इफ़ वी अपॉइंट न्यू टीचर्स इन आवर कॉलेज, देन वी हैव टू ट्रेन देम. आप कौन से भी कंपनी का भी एग्जांपल ले सकते हो. अगर आप कंपनी में प्लेस हुए, ठीक है, फॉर स्पेसिफिक टास्क, फॉर सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट और फॉर सॉफ्टवेयर टेस्टिंग और फॉर नेटवर्किंग एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा, कौन से भी एरिया में आप प्लेस हुए, तो वहाँ पे आप क्या करते हो? पहले आपको ट्रेनिंग दिया जाता है. यस. ट्रेनिंग किस बात के लिए दिया जाता है? कि वो कंपनी में कौन सा काम चलता है एंड हाउ यू कैन वर्क ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर फॉर्म ऑफ दैट कंपनी. यस, ये ट्रेनिंग आपको पहले दिया जाता है. देन एंड देन यू कैन वर्क विद इन दैट एनवायरमेंट, राइट? Same thing is going to be here. That's it uses a machine learning algorithms like deep learning, neural networks to learn new things like humans do. Yes, this way they eliminate the need to write new code every time we need to learn new things. मतलब क्या है? जब भी हम न्यू थिंग्स हमें करने पड़ती है या फिर न्यू थिंग्स हमें करने हैं, तो हम क्या करते हैं? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी लर्न इट फ्रॉम learn that particular things from anywhere, then we can do. बट मशीन्स को वैसे नहीं होता. मशीन्स को एक बार बता दिया तो मशीन्स कैन डू दैट थिंग्स रिपीटेटिवली until it ends. Yes, so reduce. Of course, it is a benefit of AI. It reduces the cost of training and operations. Then improved processes. It means that AI powered machines being deployed for work is that they let us gather homogeneous amounts of data related to their work. Such data can be processed to gather deep insights into the process with quantitative analysis so that we can optimize them even further. मतलब जितना डेटा हम ह्यूमंस प्रोसेस नहीं कर सकते उतना डेटा एआई प्रोसेस कर सकता है एट ए टाइम. So this can be the benefits of AI. Now, what are the risks of AI? First risk is that AI is unsustainable. Why it is called as unsustainable? Because it requires many hardware devices or many computer assets, which requires materials which is rare on Earth, just like as a selenium. Then the batteries of such machines run on a lithium. So these materials are very rarely available on Earth. ओके मतलब आप बस सोच सकते हो कि फ्यूचर में एआई का क्या हो सकता है. सपोज कि ये मटेरियल्स अवेलेबल नहीं होंगे अर्थ पे तो एआई सिस्टम कैन नॉट बी प्रोड्यूस्ड. ओके एंड irreversibly it damaging our environment. आप देख रहे होंगे कि बहुत सारे एआई सिस्टम्स अभी बोल रहे हैं कि एआई सिस्टम्स आने वाले हैं, एआई रोबोट्स आने वाले हैं. इट कैन बी द थ्रेट टू ह्यूमैनिटी. यस. देन सेकेंड रिस्क इज दैट लीजर जॉब्स. ये तो पता है आपको. इफ ह्यूमंस आर रिप्लेस्ड the AI machines, then of course there is no need to no need of a human interference in handling the machinery task, handling the other tasks which is required in factories nowadays. So result क्या होगा उसका? Of course laser jobs to human. Okay. And last risk is that a threat to humanity. हो सकता है क्या?
Yes, ma'am.
How? Humanity means presence of human. क्या हो सकता है थ्रेड? एक
मीन्स
थ्रेड
मॅम
बता दो.
सपोज एक डिस्ट्रक्टिव्ह कोड जर एआय मध्ये बिल्ड झाला तर
हम्म.
डिस्ट्रक्टिव्ह कोड एआय मध्ये जर बिल्ड झाला सो मग ते ह्युमॅनिटीसाठी धरू शकतो.
ऍक्च्युली
ह्युमॅनिटीसाठी
सराउंडिंग मध्ये इतका आवाज, मला तुझा आवाजच येत नाही. काय बोलतोय?
एखाद्या वेळेस जर डिस्ट्रक्टिव्ह कोड जर एआय मध्ये बिल्ड झाला किंवा डेव्हलप झाला सो मग तेच ह्युमॅनिटीसाठी डेंजर असू शकतं.
Yes, it can be the threat. Okay, so these types of threats are also there for humanity. So these are the risk of AI. Okay. Then we will go for next terms, that is agents. Agents, what are agents in AI, or what is the working of agents? We will see. First of all, we will see the types of AI. What are the types of AI in system? There are two types. First one is a type 1 and type 2. Type 1 में है narrow AI, general AI and strong AI. And type 2 में है reactive machines, limited memory, theory of mind and self awareness. ये types आपको syllabus में नहीं है, लेकिन I think that कि आपको ये types भी पता होने चाहिए. ठीक है, before going to the agents. फर्स्ट वन इज अ वीक एआई और नैरो एआई. जो भी हम अभी मार्केट में देख रहे हैं, ये सारे थ्योरी दिया है मैंने यहाँ पे, लेकिन ये आपको बाद में रीड करने के लिए मेंशन किया है. ठीक है. वीक एआई और नैरो एआई जो भी हम मार्केट में अभी देख रहे हैं, एआई सिस्टम्स, रिकमेंडेशन सिस्टम्स, देन ई कॉमर्स वेबसाइट्स पे जो एआई दिख रही है, दैट कम्स अंडर दिस कैटेगरी वीक एआई और नैरो एआई. इट मीन्स दैट वी आर ओनली हियर नाउ. मतलब एआई अभी मार्केट में जितना भी चल रहा है, it comes under this category that is known as weak AI or narrow AI. Okay, it is the AI which is able to perform a dedicated task only. Okay, with intelligence. The most common and currently available AI is a narrow AI. Okay, why it is called as a narrow AI? Because it uses some concepts of AI only in the world. Okay, it cannot perform the beyond its field or limitation. जो अभी हमने देखा अभी कि it cannot perform out of the box. Okay, if it is only trained for one specific task, then it will do that specific task only. Okay, so that's why it is termed as a weak AI. उसको क्यों बोलते हैं वीक है? बिकॉज इट इज बेसिकली डज दैट टास्क that is programmed only. Okay, Apple series is an example of narrow AI. Then IBM Watson supercomputer also comes under narrow AI. अभी ये क्या है? इट इज नथिंग बट चेस कंप्यूटर. आप हमने हिस्ट्री में भी देखा इसका मीनिंग क्या है. इट इज अ सुपर कंप्यूटर विच प्लेज अ चेस बोर्ड और चेस गेम individually. Okay, so this is the example of a narrow AI. Another some examples of narrow AI are the playing chess, then purchasing suggestions on e-commerce website, then self-driving cars, speech recognition, and image recognition. So these are the examples of narrow AI. अभी तक हमने जो भी देखा है मार्केट में हमने यही देखा है ना, इसको ही हम AI बोलते हैं. यस.
Yes, ma'am.
तो दिस इज द पार्ट ऑफ वीक एआई और नैरो एआई ओनली. मतलब ये फर्स्ट टाइप है एआई का अभी तक मार्केट में आया हुआ. दिस इज द ओनली फर्स्ट पार्ट. ओके, सो व्हाट विल बी द नेक्स्ट देन? नेक्स्ट मशीन और नेक्स्ट टाइप इज कॉल्ड एज जनरल एआई. ओके, टाइप 1 के टाइप्स देख रहे हैं हम. जनरल एआई, इट इज द टाइप ऑफ इंटेलिजेंस विच कुड परफॉर्म एनी इंटेलेक्चुअल टास्क. It can perform the intellectual task with the efficiency like just like as human. Okay, it has the aim that it could be a smarter just like and think like as human. Okay, but currently there is no such system exist in the world to consider it as a general AI. The worldwide researchers are now focused on developing these machines with general AI. ओके, मतलब जनरल एआई अभी तक वर्ल्ड में आया भी नहीं है. रिसर्चर्स की रिसर्च गोइंग ऑन है, प्रोसेसिंग में है. देन जनरल एआई के सिस्टम्स मार्केट में आएंगे. ओके, जनरल एआई किस में आता है? इंटेलेक्चुअल विच मशीन्स कैन परफॉर्म द इंटेलेक्चुअल टास्क with the ability to think and which could be smarter just like as human. Okay, so this is the second type of type 1. Okay, general AI. And third type is that super AI. सुपर एआई तो अभी तक मार्केट में आया भी नहीं है. जनरल एआई एंड सुपर एआई इज नो देयर इन मार्केट नाउ. Super AI is the bigger or which has the power above that human, which could surpass the human intelligence. That is known as a super AI. It can perform any task better than human with cognitive properties. That's why it is called as a super AI. Okay, and some key characteristics of strong AI is that ability to think, then to reason, solve the puzzles, make the judgments, plan, learn, and communicate by its own. Okay, so these are the capabilities of a super AI. But these terms are hypothetical only. Means it is still a hypothetical concept of AI. Still, it is a development of this such types of AI is undergoing by the researcher. ओके, सो सुपर एआई एंड जनरल एआई करेंटली मार्केट में नहीं है, बट उनपे रिसर्च चल रहा है और वो सुपर एआई और जनरल एआई के सिस्टम्स ऐसे हो सकते हैं. ठीक है, सो दीज आर द टाइप्स ऑफ एआई इन द टाइप 1. ओके, यू कैन सी हियर वी आर हियर ओनली नैरो एआई में ही है अभी तक हम. उसके बाद क्या आने वाला है? जनरल एआई. नैरो एआई में क्या होता है? ओनली डेडिकेटेड टास्क, डेडिकेटेड वन टास्क इज गिवन टू दैट मशीन. जनरल एआई इट परफॉर्म्स लाइक ह्यूमन. ओके, एंड सुपर एआई क्या है? इंटेलिजेंट दैन ह्यूमन. ओके, ये इसके आगे का वर्जन. सो दिस टू सिस्टम्स आर कमिंग टू द मार्केट इन फ्यूचर. ओके, मतलब आप हम देख सकते हैं शायद से कि जनरल एआई एंड सुपर एआई कैसे वर्क होंगे. ठीक है. देन बेस्ड ऑन टाइप 2, ये बेस्ड ऑन फंक्शनलिटी ऑफ एआई, ये टाइप्स है एआई के. फर्स्ट वन इज रिएक्टिव मशीन्स. Reactive machines are nothing but a machines which can react and which do not store any memories or past experiences for future actions. Okay, the example of that is the IBM's Deep Blue system. It is a system. अगर आप ये डालोगे नेट पे तो आपको दिखेगा. It is a system. It is just like as a Watson system to play a chess game. Okay, why it is known as a reactive machine? Because after having a चेस में क्या करते हैं हम एक राउंड होने के बाद या फिर एक की पास करने के बाद सेकेंड पास बोलता है. ठीक है, सेकेंड जो कंपिटिटर होता है वो पास बोलता है. ठीक है, सो इट इज अ रिएक्टिव मशीन. इट मीन्स it reacts on the action of that particular or opponent. Okay, that's why it comes under the reactive machines category. Then Google AlphaGo, it is also board game which is played over the internet. That is also example of a reactive machine. Okay, so this comes under the reactive machine. Then a limited memory, as the name suggests that memory, so it can store the past experiences to solve or to do a particular task. Okay, it can use that stored data for limited period of time. The example of that limited memory is the self driving cars. अभी ये क्या स्टोर करेगा? सेल्फ ड्राइविंग कार्स कैन स्टोर द information which relates to the nearby cars, then distance of other cars, speed limit, and other information to navigate the road. Okay, so these types of information can stored in inbuilt in system, so that machines are comes under the limited memory. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
then third type is that theory of mind. Why it is known as a theory of mind? Because it should understand the human emotions, people behave, and be able to interact the socially like humans. So these categories are comes under the theory of mind. These types of machines are still not developed because these are comes under the general AI. Yes, general AI में आएंगे ये theory of mind के machines. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So still it is not developed. Still these machines are not developed. But the researchers are making lots of efforts and improvement for developing these types of AI machines, which will be act just like as human. Okay. Then next one is the self-awareness. Self-awareness is the future of AI. This is comes under the super AI. I think so. These machines will be super intelligent and have their own consciousness, sentiments, and self-awareness. These machines will be smarter than human, and these machines does not exist nowadays, but it will be there in future. Okay, so this comes under the super AI. Okay, so these are the types of AI. Got it?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is how it was. Now, next concept is that agents. Now, what is mean by agent? Agent can be you, me, and other systems also, which can perform a specific task. Okay, so that can be the agent. See, AI system can be defined as a study of a rational agent. AI will be identified by agent only. Okay, the agent sense the environment through the sensors and act on their environment through the actuators. अभी environment क्या है इसमें? Environment is nothing but a area where that machines should be worked. Okay, so agents sense the environment through the sensors and act on their environment through the actuators. An AI agent can have mental properties such as knowledge, belief, and intention. Okay, so what is exactly mean by the agent? Agent is nothing but वही है नीचे भी. Agent can be anything that perceive its environment through sensors and act upon the environment through the actuators. Okay, an agent runs in the cycle of perceiving, thinking, and acting. ये तीनों operations perform करता है agent. Perceives the information of an environment through the sensors, thinking on that particular input, then acting accordingly to that environment through the actuators. Okay, these types of agents are there involved. Human agent, human agent can has eyes, ears, and other organs which work for a sensors. एग्जाम्पल ले सकते हैं हम हमारी बॉडी का, ले सकते हैं ना, आईज, ईयर्स एंड अदर ऑर्गन्स दैट कैन बी सेंसर्स फॉर अस. ओके, आईज क्या सेंस करते हैं, आगे क्या दिख रहा है वो हम सेंस कर सकते हैं बाय द आईज. ओके, एंड हैंड, लेग्स एंड वोकल ट्रैक्ट वर्क फॉर एक्चुएटर्स. अभी एक्चुएटर्स मीन्स क्या, विच वर्क्स accordingly that input which is taken from the sensors. Yes, so this comes under the human agents. The next one is the robotic agent. What should be there in sensors and actuators? In robotic agent we can have the cameras, infrared range finder, then NLP. These can be used as a sensors in robotic agents. Yes, and various motors which can use to act actuators. What is now the software agent? It can have a keystrokes, file contents as a sensory input. Okay, and on those inputs, the display output on the screen, which can output screen can be the actuator. Hence, the world around us is full of agents such as thermostat, cell phone, camera, and even we are also agents. Got it? The concept of agent?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
It is very simple. So, what are the terms here? We have already seen in the IoT, I think so. Yes, sensors, actuator, and effectors. Yes, देखी कि नहीं हमने?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
What is mean by sensor? जनरल लैंग्वेज में बता सकता है कोई?
Graph information.
Hmm?
It collects information from the environment.
Yes, it detects the environment or it detects the change in the environment which surrounds us. Yes, and it sends the information to other electronic devices. Then an agent observes its environment through the sensors. Agent क्यों use करता है? To observe the environment. That's why sensors are used. Okay, then what are the actuators?
Convert machine.
Ma'am, they convert electrical signal to mechanical motion.
Yes, yes. They convert the energy into the motion. Yes, means it can be or it can be after having the data from the input to the actuator, and actuator will accordingly act with the motion. Okay, the actuators are only responsible for moving and controlling the system. Actuator can be the electrical motor, then gears and rails. Okay, so this can be the actuator. Then what are the effectors? ये सुना है effectors? सुना है कि नहीं
No,
effectors?
it's like a gesture, ma'am. Gesture
Effectors?
motion.
Yes.
Gesture motion.
Gesture motion. Effectors are nothing but the devices which affect the environment. इफेक्ट एंड डिस्प्ले स्क्रीन, ये क्या है, जहाँ पे एक्चुएटर्स को काम दे रहे काम करने का. सपोज वी आर एजेंट्स, ह्यूमन है ना हम, ह्यूमन आर एजेंट, आईज आर सेंसर्स, आईज सेंस कर रहे, legs and hands are actuators. Yes, but after having the motion with the our hands and legs, that are the effectors, that are called as effectors. Yes, मतलब हम आउटपुट जिससे परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं उसको हम इफेक्टर्स भी बोल सकते हैं. ओके, it can be seen here. This is the type of environment. It percepts and sensors sense the particular environment. Then wait for a 4 to 5 minutes. Huh? एक second. So these are the terms which we use in AI system: sensors, actuators, and effectors. Okay, now next term is the types of AI agent. What are the then types of AI agents? Okay, these are the 5 types of AI agents. That is simple reflex agent, model based reflex agent, then goal based agent, utility based agent, and learning agent. Okay, so अभी इसमें टाइप्स कैसे रहेंगे? To perform a specific task or on the perception based or on the prediction based, etc., etc. So these are the agents are in AI system to perform this task. We will see one by one. First one is a simple reflex agent. Okay, so it is the simple reflex agent. These are the simplest agents which are used for a simplest task on the base of a these agents take decision on the basis of a current percepts. It makes the decisions based on the current perceptions and ignore the rest of the percept history. जो भी अभी का current perception होगा उसके ऊपर वो decision लेगा. वो previous history क्या है और क्या नहीं है वो भूल जाएगा. ठीक है, so that's why it is called as a simple reflex agents. These agents only succeed in the fully observable environment, does not consider any part of percept history during their decision and action process. On it only considers the current perception. Then the simple reflex agents works on condition action rule, which means it maps the current state to a action, such as room cleaner agent. It works only if there is dirt in the room. This can be the example of simple reflex agent. But there are problems for the reflex agent, simple reflex agent. Why? Because they have a very limited intelligence, because it performs only based on the perception which is there now in current condition. They do not have knowledge on non-perceptual parts of the current state. Then mostly too big to generate and to store. Not adaptive to changes in the environment. These are the problems of this agent. Okay, it is a simple reflex agent which is used on current perception. This can be the diagram of this simple reflex agent. You can see here. It sends the information based on the perception, current perception from the environment. Okay, what the world is like now, then what action I should do now, ये current perception के ऊपर वो action perform करता है through that actuators, and that action will be performed to that environment. Okay, and condition action rules are taken from the agent perception based. So this is known as a simple reflex agent. Okay, then second type is that model based reflex agent. अभी इसमें change क्या रहेगा? It have a model. Okay, it can work in partially observable environment and track the situation. A model based agent has two important factors, that is model and internal state. अभी इसमें क्या होता है? It is a knowledge about how things happen in the world. जो भी परसेप्शन होगा वो परसेप्शन करंट परसेप्शन नहीं होगा, तो उसको ऑलरेडी नॉलेज होगा कि हाउ द पर्टिकुलर थिंग्स विल हैपन और हैज हैपेंड in the world. So it is called as a model based agent. Okay, that's why it is called as a model based agent. And what is internal state? It is a representation of a current state based on the percept history. Means that it stores the perception history. Okay, एंड प्रीवियस इसमें सिंपल रिफ्लेक्स में क्या होता है? इट डज नॉट स्टोर एनी परसेप्शन हिस्ट्री, based on the current perception it does the works. Okay, but model based में क्या होता है, it knows the how the things are happened in the world. That's why it is known as a model based agent, and it will do accordingly that particular model based history and current state based on the perception history. Okay, these agents have the model which is knowledge of the world, and the based on the model they performs the action. That's why it is known as a model based reflex agent. Updating the agent state requires information about how the world evolves in that particular situation and how the agent's action affect the world. This is the diagram of model based reflex agent. Perceptions are taken from the environment, senses what the world is like now, then the state will be observed how the world evolves. ये things already इसमें रहेंगे, मॉडल में रहेंगे, ठीक है. What my actions do, ये input आने के बाद then it can perform the specific task based on that current perception, and then condition actions rules are applied, and then what action I should know, that action should be taken from the actuators. Okay, so this is known as a model based reflex agent. Got it? Simple, eh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now third type is that goal based agent. अभी goal based agents are considered as I think robots. उसको some specific task दिया जाता है. Yes, वो देखो अभी क्या है. The knowledge of the current state environment is not always sufficient to decide for an agent to what to do. मतलब last previous one जो था model based reflex agent, उसका ये drawback हो सकता है कि only knowledge होने से हम कोई भी एक्शन परफॉर्म नहीं कर सकते. ठीक है, सो देयर इज नीड ऑफ अ गोल टू परफॉर्म अ स्पेसिफिक टास्क. द एजेंट नीड्स टू नो इट्स गोल विच डिस्क्राइब्स द डिजायरेबल सिचुएशंस. ओके, सो गोल बेस्ड एजेंट्स expand the capabilities of model based agent by having the goal information with them. Okay, goal means to perform a specific task we should have a goal. Okay, they choose an action so that they can achieve that particular goal. These agents may have considered a long sequence of possible actions before deciding whether the goal is achieved or not. Such considerations of different scenarios are called searching and planning, which makes agent proactive. Okay.
अरे यार काय गडगडी येतो जाते रे. गेला मग 800
How happy I will be in such a state. because it can perform this task easily by using the utility. Then that action should be followed by the actuators. Okay. Next, last type of a last type of a agent is a learning agent. A learning agent in AI is the type of agent which can learn from its past experiences. It means it saves perception history, or it saves the uh, past operations of the agent. Okay, it starts to act with basic knowledge and then able to act and adapt the automatically through the learning. एग्जाम्पल बता सकते हो इसका आप लर्निंग एजेंट्स का? सिंपल है,
त्याच्या राउटरला कनेक्ट
रिकमेंडेशन
करून
सिस्टम
अनब्लॉक
है
करतो
क्या?
ना ते.
एक एग्जांपल.
कनेक्ट होत ना त्याच्या राउटरला.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Yes, recommendation system
नीट
is
का नीट
a
कसं सांग.
learning agent system. Why? Because it learns from our history. जो भी हम सर्च करते हैं, सर्फ करते हैं इंटरनेट पे, इट लर्न्स फ्रॉम आवर हिस्ट्री, देन इट
जाऊ
रिकमेंड
दे ना
अस
आपल्या
दैट
आपल्या
पर्टिकुलर
फोन लावू
वेबसाइट्स
नको.
और वेब पेजेस फॉर अस. So it can be the learning agent. Okay, so these are the elements, or these are the components of a learning agent. It is a learning element that is responsible for making improvements by learning learning from environment. Environment मतलब क्या? As we are using a narrow AI in our day to day life, नैरो एआई ही यूज हो रहा है, तो हम हमारे यहाँ पे इन्वायरमेंट क्या होगा फिर इसमें? एनवायरमेंट क्या होगा? सपोज आई एम सर्फिंग द यूट्यूब, देन व्हाट इज एनवायरमेंट, व्हाट इज सेंसर एंड व्हाट इज एक्चुएटर देयर? क्या होगा? whole youtube.com website is the environment for my, यस, माय वेब सर्च. ओके, मतलब वेब ब्राउजर पे youtube.com ये जो है वेबसाइट, ये क्या रहेगा मेरे लिए? एनवायरनमेंट रहेगा. ठीक है, फॉर दिस लर्निंग एजेंट. देन उसके बाद आप सपोज आई एम वाचिंग द कंसेप्ट ऑफ एआई. ठीक है, एजेंट्स ऑफ एआई. तो उसके बाद वो मुझे एप्लीकेशंस ऑफ एआई बताएगा रिकमेंडेशन में. उसके बाद वो मुझे एडवांटेजेस, डिसएडवांटेजेस, हिस्ट्री ऑफ एआई बताएगा रिकमेंडेशंस में. व्हाई? बिकॉज आई एम लर्निंग एआई थ्रू यूट्यूब. यस, तो इसमें सेंस कहाँ पे किया उसने, और एक्चुएटर्स कौन से यूज किए उसने? As we all know that AI is the system which runs over the sensors, actuators,
कितीवर आहे
and
आज.
effectors, and environment and agents. Then
1:30 चालू ना. 1:30 तर वाजले.
how it recommends me the
आयस.
recommendations?
ओके ओके.
Previous search.
Through
History.
the through
वॉच
the
हिस्ट्री.
search, through the, yes, through the search history, it can learn from my history. Yes, it can learn from my history. Then it can provide me the recommendations. So this is the working of learning agent basically. Then next component is that critic. Learning element takes feedback from the critic, which describes that how well the agent is doing with respect to the fixed performance standard. Okay, then performance element, which is the part of learning agent again, it is responsible for selecting external action. जो भी actions perform होंगे externally, this component is responsible for that. And the last one is a problem generator. This component is responsible for suggesting actions that will lead to new and informative experiences. आप देखते हो प्रॉब्लम जनरेटर मीन्स रिकमेंडेशंस वो साइड में आते हैं, so that are generated by the problem generator. This component is responsible for suggesting actions that will lead to new and informative experiences. Okay, hence these learning agents are able to learn, analyze the performance, and look for new ways to improve the performance. So this is the diagram of learning agent. You can see here it takes the perceptions from the environment. Sensors will sense that environment, and after having the
प्लास्टिकची
perceptions,
बॉटल राहते तर
performance
माणूस कुठं
standards are
कुठं फेकतो
measured
तिला
by the
कशी बी
learning
हाताळतो.
agents.
आणि
Then
या अशा
critic
बॉटल
is
राहिली
there.
की
Critic is
हळूच
there
ठेवेल,
to
हळूच उचलेल.
think on that
या
particular
स्टीलच्या.
history. Then feedback is taken for the
उलट
agents
प्लास्टिकच्या हळू वापरायला पाहिजे आपण,
working.
तर आपण
Then
उलटा करतो.
learning element is there. Learning element क्यों है? Which learns the previous history of that particular user. अभी हमने एग्जांपल लिया तो आप यूट्यूब का यूज एग्जांपल ले सकते हैं यहाँ पे. Then if the changes are required, then changes will be goes to the performance element, and performance element will generate by using the problem generator new recommendations, and that will be goes to the effectors, and that actions will be performed, and it will be reflect back to the environment of that particular
तो
user.
EMI चा मोबाईल दाखव रे.
Okay, simple था ना? Types of agents. So these are the types of agents. Now there is a major concept of AI that is called as an intelligent agent that we will see in next lecture. Okay.
Okay,
ओके
ma'am.
मॅम.
Yes, ma'am.
Today we have seen advantages,
Okay, ma'am.
disadvantages. Yes. Advantages, disadvantages of AI. Then what are the risks of AI? Benefits of AI. Then we have seen the types of AI. There are two types of AI. In that, it can be categorized by using a capability, weak AI or narrow AI, जनरल AI, सुपर AI. ये समझा ना आपको अभी? ये समझने के बाद आपको एजेंट समझे. यस, ये नहीं था
Yes,
आपके
ma'am.
सिलेबस में, लेकिन आई thought that it is very helpful for you to understand next concepts. Yes. Then we have seen based on functionality types, reactive machines, limited memory, theory of mind, self-awareness. Okay. Then we have seen the agents, different types of agents. Agent, what is mean by agent exactly? It runs over the AI system, or it is defined as a एजेंट सिस्टम. मतलब
बरोबर
एआई को
12-1
हम
वाजता भूक लागते.
ऐसे ही देखते हैं कि ये एजेंट सिस्टम है. ठीक है. सो एनीथिंग कैन बी एजेंट वेयर सेंसर्स, एक्चुएटर्स एंड इफेक्टर्स आर यूज्ड. ओके. But you should know the exact definition of agent. It is anything that perceive its environment through sensors, then act upon that environment through the actuators. Okay, so this is known as agent. It has three cycles. It has a cycle of running in three ways. First one is a perceiving. Perceiving means
ना गुगल क्रोम आता
perception
एकदम थर्ड क्लास होऊन गेलेला आहे.
take perception from the environment,
टॅब
then
व्ह्यू इतका
thinking
बोगस
over
आहे तो
that
ग्रिड व्ह्यू.
environment, and acting over that environment. Okay, perceiving can be done through the sensors, thinking can be done through the agents, different types of agents as we have seen,
कसला?
and acting can be performed by the
तो तर कधीचा आलेला
actuators.
आहे टॅब
Yes,
ग्रिड व्ह्यू. करू नको बरं का, त्या मोबाईलला ग्रिड व्ह्यू का?
समझा ना?
थर्ड
Yes,
क्लास
ma'am.
आहे एकदम. पहिले तो असा
Yes, ma'am.
पत्त्या कार्ड व्ह्यू होता, तो किती मस्त होता.
After that, we have seen what are sensor, actuators, and effectors. Then we have seen types of AI agents. Now,
म्हणून
कौन
इतक्या
सा इसमें
दिवसापासून
बेटर है?
अपडेट करत नव्हतो मी. मी अपडेट केलं पण ग्रिड व्ह्यू झाला एकदम बोगस.
Simple reflex is very simple model or very simple agent. Then model based reflex agent, goal based reflex agent which has a goal. Then utility based agent which has a components to perform or to achieve specific goal. And learning agent can be the combination of all these four. So that's why learning agent is the most commonly used agent in AI systems. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we will stop here. Just a second, I want to take
224 MB चा ॲप,
attendance.
213 MB चा युजर डेटा त्याच्यात.
Roll number one,
हा ना करावं लागेल. अरे
be fast.
मी ना
Roll number
भरपूर
one,
टॅब ओपन केलेलं आहे ना,
roll number two,
त्याच्यामुळे थोडा हँग पडतो. पण
Present,
त्या
ma'am.
टॅब सगळ्या कामाचे आहे मला.
three,
Present, ma'am.
four,
Present, ma'am.
थंडी कसं काय
five,
वाजते अचानक.
Present, ma'am.
six,
Present,
51,
ma'am.
51,
Present, ma'am. 51.
52, 53,
Present, ma'am.
54,
Present, ma'am.
55,
Present, ma'am.
56,
Present, ma'am.
57,
Present, ma'am.
58, 59, 60, 61,
Present, ma'am.
62,
Present, ma'am.
63,
Present, ma'am.
64, 65,
Present, ma'am.
66, which? 59.
Yes.